Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the horror movie called Friday the 13th Part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. The movie took place in Manhattan, Florida, in the action-packed opening scene where Jim Miller, a young storyteller, enthralls his girlfriend Suzi with chilling tales about Jason Voorhees. They have no idea that their innocent houseboat adventure in Crystal Lake starts off a chain of extraordinary occurrences. Jim decides to trick Suzi by impersonating Jason Voorhees while wearing a hockey mask and carrying a fake knife. A dormant Jason Voorhees, who was chained at the lake's bottom, is unwittingly awakened by their practical joke. Jason has been revived and is ready for chaos as the boat's anchor unintentionally damages underwater cables. After Jim's prank, they both came back to bed and started to have sex. As the two were making love, Jason quietly infiltrated the boat, stole the hockey mask, and entered their room, where he then launched a ruthless, murderous rampage and killed Jim first. Jim is killed by his harpoon gun, while Suzi manages to escape Jason. Suzi hid from Jason in a tiny room under the boat. The tension felt heavier as she heard Jason's heavy footsteps come closer to her. She constantly covered her mouth to block the sound of heavy breathing from revealing her location. She was in immediate fear when Jason opened the door, and he was looking down upon her. She begged Jason for mercy and screamed as Jason pointed the hook gun at her. Jason eventually kills her by shooting the goon gun through her stomach, killing her. The senior class at Lakeview High School, taught by Dr. Charles McCulloch in biology and Colleen Van Deusen in English, eagerly prepares for their graduation and upcoming trip to New York City aboard the SS Lazarus. Rennie and Colleen came together to board a ship, and before they could get out of the car, Colleen gave Rennie a pen as a gift because she believed that no one deserved to have that pen other than Rennie, who she saw as a very talented writer. Rennie, who has a fear of the water, decides to travel with the group despite Dr. McCulloch's reservations. When Colleen approached Charles by the boat, he immediately scolded her for being late, and later became disappointed when she saw that she had brought Rennie along. From that point on, tension between Rennie and Charles had developed, and their interactions had become cold. Sean, the captain's son, was on the deck with his father when the captain decided to let his son take charge of the boat and give commands. As a graduation gift, he gave him a box full of his old tools and equipment when he was just starting out to be a sailor. When Sean gave the wrong command, he saw the disappointment on his father's face and immediately left the deck. Jason could be seen hanging onto the ship's hook just before the boat took off. They have no idea that Jason Voorhees' malevolent presence will interrupt their peaceful journey and force them into a terrifying struggle for survival. As our courageous heroes battle the darkness that lurks beneath Crystal Lake's enigmatic waters, get ready for a thrilling and suspenseful adventure. The tragic journey takes a tragic turn when Jason sneaks onto the ship and murders Jay, a wannabe rock star, and Jarrett, who bravely attempts to defend himself using a string instrument. Inside the ship's steamy sauna, Jason annihilates a wannabe fighter who had just lost to reigning boxing champion Julius Gaw. Tamara Mason and her friend Eva Watanabe suffer reputational damage as a result of the illegal drug use as chaos breaks out. The renowned prom queen was Tamara Mason. At the same time, Rennie embarks on a desperate search for her cherished dog, Toby. Rennie is deliberately tossed overboard by Tamara after being accused of divulging highly classified intelligence. Shortly thereafter, Tamara adeptly captures an incriminating encounter with McCulloch on video, safeguarding their conversation for future reference. While Tamara vehemently rebuffs Wayne's amorous advances, a crafty student covertly records the scandalous incident. Following their vulnerable meeting in the bathing facility, Tamara fearlessly confronts Jason with what appears to be fractured glass. Subsequently, she meets a savage demise at the hands of Jason. Rennie begins experiencing supernatural visions as the specter of a youthful Jason persistently haunts the vessel. Tragically, Captain Robertson and his dependable first mate become ensnared in Jason's cunning and succumb to his violent eruption. Sensing impending calamity and desperately striving to transmit an urgent distress signal for aid and salvation, Sean, Rennie's paramour, and Captain Robertson's courageous offspring stumble upon the macabre remnants. After finding Tamara's lifeless body, Eva leaves and is killed by Jason as he suffocates on the dance floor. Despite McCulloch's belief that the deckhand is responsible, the students decide to search for Jason as a group. But by chance, they come across the deckhand, who has a fire axe lodged in his dorsal region. During the ensuing chaos, Miles Wolfe meets an untimely death when Jason propels him into the towering radio transmitter. Jason also forcefully propels Julius overboard. Wayne encounters Jason in the storage area of the ship, and Jason callously throws Jay's lifeless body into an electrical box, setting off a catastrophic conflagration that makes Wayne yet another unfortunate victim. As the ship burns to a crisp under the ferocious inferno, McCulloch, Van Deusen, Rennie and Sean successfully escape on a life raft. By miraculously defying predictions that they would perish alongside their disco-dwelling peers, Toby and Julius astound onlookers. While rowing towards New York, the group comes under Jason's relentless pursuit. When two drug addicts kidnap Rennie, the group disperses in search of assistance. Unfortunately, Julius's skull is severed by Jason in a single blow, killing him. As Jason eliminates the kidnappers in his wake, Rennie deftly frees herself. She meets up with Sean once more, and the two of them, along with the teachers and the New York Police Department, confront Jason. Rennie collides with a police car after seeing Jason's face, which causes Van Deusen to self-immolate. It is revealed that McCulloch is responsible for Rennie's aquaphobia because of the wrongdoing he committed when he threw her into the lake as a child. McCulloch is left behind by the collective, and Jason puts him to death by submerging him in a container of dangerous waste. In a pivotal confrontation, Sean throws Jason onto the subway's electrified third rail, where they are then chased through the underground tunnels. Having been temporarily rendered unconscious, Jason later reemerges and pursues Rennie and Sean ferociously through Times Square's bustling expanse and into a restaurant.